Or good evening, guys. Ken of Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for June 17th, 2024. We'll start with sniper trade of the day. Why is my pen not working? Had a problem with that earlier today, too. Stand by. Well, that looks a little better. Can you still hear me okay? All right, let's try it again. All right. So this is SPY on 3 minutes. Sniper trade of the day. All righty. So here's our opening range 3, the high and the low. The next bar, we get the breakdown. So we're short. We're going to take the standard risk box. That loses a fraction. I stop and reverse with the standard risk. That loses a half an R. So I pause. I take the RLXD. So that looks like a breakout above the regression, the PSARs, excuse me. And the R10 does this, so I'm taking that trade. Taking the same risk box as before. We get a fraction on that one. I get a COTA 2 reentry. Same risk box. That one works for a 1.5 R. Get a COTA 2 reentry when the R10 crosses the dragon again. That one gives 2.5 R. Take another COTA 2. And that one returns almost 3 R. So we end up getting about 7 R on this one after some initial challenges. Had a little trouble getting things moving in here. But the VWAP is up. We're at an all-time new high. The Bollinger Band mean is up. The Dragon is up. So I'm just playing it in that direction and taking the COTA 2s. And that returns about 7 R after a slow start. Check or hold? All right, next one up is EWW on 10 minutes. There's the OR10. It breaks down below the VWAP. I'm short for about half an hour. It reverses and the crosses the VWAP and hits the southern skin of the dragon. I try that one. There's a wrist box off the low of the RL10, and that one returns about an R. So that's about 1.5 R on the 10-minute chart on Mexico. This is CLF. This is a big gap down. Here's the close Friday. Here's a gap down. Continues to sell off. So I get short with that standard risk box. Continues to fail. The R10 reverses. I take the exit at the skin of the dragon. We stop and reverse when it crosses the VWAP and the PSAR is flipped. Same wrist box. And that one gives us about 2R. So that's a total of about 3R on CLF using just standard work. Check or hold. I wasn't trading DIA today, but here's what that looked like on the 10 minutes. That was certainly tradable. So there was the close Friday. Here was a little gap down. It monkeys around a little bit, but then when it breaks out above the dragon on a rising VWAP and a rising dragon, that's your normal entry. And then you have 3 different price targets above that are represented by the all-time high, the 10-day anchored VWAP and the 5-day anchored VWAP. So those are 3 reasonable targets, each one of which got hit today. So your normal entry would be here with a risk box like about that, down to the low of the PSAR. And then that should have been an orderly trade for those of you trading DIA on 10 minutes. This is EWZ on 10 minutes. This is Brazil. Gap down and rolling over short for an R. Stop and reverse on the PSAR flip for 2R. And that's a total of about 3R in EWZ today on the 10 minute. This is EWW Mexico on the 10 minute. Blue box is the OR10. That one's short for a half an R. Reversal for about 2R. And there we are. EWW Mexico 10-minute trade. Let's take a look at the traders today. Hamad gets aligned pretty well with DIA for 0.3. The re-entry would have paid off for sure. I think it was a little slow getting re-entered here. I think this should be back here. When it does not fail below the VWAP and gives you a couple rising lows, I think you got to get in a little earlier. On Brazil, he gets chopped a little bit here in the middle, which made it a negative day in Brazil. And then EWW, he cuts it quick. This is Satya for 2.7 on EWW. Basically, he missed the short, but he does get the SSC entry, standard exit, COTA 2 re-entry, standard exit, COTA 2 entry, scratch, missed the short, COTA 2 rebound off of the VWAP, gets paid for 2.7. That's really well done. That's EWW on the 3-minute. Little easier to trade that one. Minus 0.13 for Jonathan on EWW. Take a look at the work that Satya just did on that on that same chart, you'll see this as a potential entry here. On DIA, though, he crushes it with the broad market for a little over 2R. Beautiful reentry on the emerging dragon. Brian on the Kiwi, scratches inside here, really was no move during the hours he was available. Gets a micro win in the gold dollar. Kevin gets 0.5, grinding out EWW on the threes in the usual way. Loses on the 10-minute on EWW. I think there was a re-entry earlier than this crossing of the Bollinger Band mean, which would have made a difference. And then this one should not have stayed as long and should have been re-entering by that point. Makes it up in DIA on the 10 minutes and making a nice smashing north all the way through here for 1.3. George, I like the short and the reversal, and then the Kata 2 reentry for 0.3. This one long, I think that you stayed too long on that one. I like the short and I like the quick cut. I think you could be entering this when it crosses the Bollinger Band mean and the upper skin of the dragon, so maybe a bar earlier. A re-entry would have paid, but still, we might have been able to convert this third trade into a better win when it breaks below the doji in order to make this a net 0 day. Could have captured some more out of that, I think. Let's see. I need the daily report now. Stand by. Just a moment. Thought I had it open. Today was a day where all the professionals who are worried about the exaggerated gains, who are taking short positions or just getting smashed by trying to be the first mouse. They're trying to be too clever, I think. We're the second mouse and we follow price. And it's working just fine. All right, we've seen the sniper trades. Let's go to the 150 or the 30-day look back. So this was a breakout to all-time highs today. This was the previous all-time high. And we added some more juice to the upside. That's all good. You've got the 30-day anchored VWAP is looking strong and up. The 10-day anchored VWAP is up and strong. The 5-day anchored VWAP is up, and the 3-day anchored VWAP is up, and we're pushing to all-time highs. So you got to follow that trend. You can't get short that just because it's unusually strong. That would be trying to be the first mouse. All right, dashboard number 1. Wildly overbought, bullish normal, favorable volatility, couple buy on dip opportunities in the globals here. This volatility of the Z-score is ready to support strong, sharp moves in either direction. Big, strong move in Microsoft today. Tech leading the way. Apple was very strong today. Even Tesla was strong. The Qs, the S&P large caps, the S&P tech, and oil were all strong today. Minor weakness in Japan and clean energy. Not much to speak of there, though. Today was such a narrow range day that you have a lot of favorable auto framers, but only one squeeze in United Health. Still being dominated by the winter in the globals and some key technology leaders in the summer on the large cap stocks. Broad-based strength with just a few notable exceptions, but micro exceptions. Microsoft is just dominating, as are Apple and Walmart and Oracle. The tech and the NASDAQ 100 are just crushing things. Standard leaders here in the trading value list: marijuana, Tesla, clean energy, and Nvidia. And in the Z scores, the 90 has rolled over. That's supporting a potential resumption of the longer term trend. This is the longer term trend. And despite this sell off, this has been enough of a move to turn the 90 back around and up. The 30 is finding support here at the top of the river and getting ready to go. And even the short term 10 period is showing some strength. So there's still legs to the upside this week. We have not seen the short squeeze yet. And that's everything for today. We'll get this published and posted, and we will catch you tomorrow. Take good care.